Good morning and welcome to Raw Vlog number 34. Raw Vlogs are recorded in front of a live steering wheel on my way to getting my Friday morning coffee delivered straight from the camera to you, raw and unmitigated. I'm Alan, this is the MTB ALAN channel. I produce mountain bike oriented content and deliver fresh episodes every Monday at 5 p.m. Hit that subscribe button and be getting that content on the regular. In today's Raw Vlog, we are going to be talking about how I am such a fat jerk. We're also going to be going through some of your captions from the caption contest, even though I didn't say it was a caption contest online, from the post I did in the YouTube community tab. We will also be going through our news. I guess that's what we're doing today. So channel news today. This upcoming episode is about my first trip back to Laguna and riding some rugged trails out there with a really rad crew. I don't know if I've ridden with the crew like that before. I think the closest was riding with Curtis Keen's crew out at Simi Valley a while ago, where I totally failed to keep up. This crew I kind of keep up with, but yeah, really good day. That's what's coming up on the channel this coming Monday. Another bit of news is the media mod, the GoPro media mod, I believe is on its way. I just got charged by GoPro, so I'm assuming that means that they're sending it out. So we'll have the media mod soon and we'll get to look at that, see how much we really like it. Bit of house cleaning. DMs on Instagram. So I get a ton of direct messages on Instagram and I don't really look at any of them. This is largely due to my need to maintain some level of balance in my life. I respond to all your comments on Instagram if I can. I definitely respond to all of them on YouTube. So if you have questions, if you want to get a hold of me, hit me in the comments. Also, if you want to ride, send me specifics. If you want to leave a comment in the YouTube videos, just send me specifics. Let me know where you're going to be, when you're going to be there, where you're going to be and when you're going to be there, and then if I can make it work, I'll make it work. But yeah, so no offense if I haven't responded to any of your direct messages. I just don't do that. I did it a while ago, like when when the channel was still pretty young, but it turned into 17 conversations going on all at the same time, and I had no time to do anything else in my life. So I need some balance. I'm a human being. So there's that. Stoke of the week. So this is where I talk about stuff that stoked me out this week, and this week's Stoke of the week starts from me being a jerk. So I know, stick with me. So a while ago, when the YouTube channel was still pretty young, I think maybe we were like a year in or something like that, a little more than a year in, I was on the trail with a few people, and I made a comment that was essentially a thinly veiled insult, and it came from a place of selfishness, and I didn't really consider what I was doing. And through a series of interactions, I really just kind of came to realize that regardless of my point of view, the last thing I want to do is have any kind of negative impact on anybody's stoke. If we're on the bike, it should be a good time, and there's no reason to mess up anybody's day. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think I'm so important that I'm gonna just ruin somebody's day with a comment, but in this particular case, what I said stuck enough for this person to make it clear that they were not happy with what I had to say. And so where this turns into Stoke for me is that interaction was the main interaction that made me really kind of rethink my attitude on the trail, and to start becoming just less selfish about my time on the trail and much more interested in the Stoke that we share with each other, and making sure that I'm not doing anything that's going to negatively impact that. Now, the real Stoke comes from recently getting to ride with one of these people and getting to kind of clear the air, and I think it was rad that this person was forthright enough to just bring it up and talk to me about it, and we were able to clear the air and and have a good ride together. So I was really stoked on that. I mean, not that I want to do negative stuff to make this happen, but when something negative like that turns into something positive, that's always rad. And then to just like kind of meet that person again and be able to like talk with them face to face and clear the air, really stoked on that. So you know who you are. Thank you for like being rad and just like just talking to me about it and being straight with me about it. Rad stuff. So that's me being a jerk. Let's talk about me being a fat jerk. So after the injury, you know, I couldn't train as hard, and I basically just let myself get soft. You may have noticed it in some of my videos, or if you've seen me in person, noticed that I've been somewhat wide around the mid region, and I've let this happen. And it's been a bit of a hit to the ego, because before the injury I had gotten pretty lean and was feeling really good, and you know, I had made a lot of good choices. What had kind of happened after the injury, you know, some of it was I was eating emotions, some of it was that I was eating emotions, some of it was that I couldn't train as hard as I normally do, and then obviously I couldn't be on the bike. So, you know, my activity levels were way down, and I was just a lot more sedentary, but I also started eating poorly. And you know, I think the kind of the hard thing here is that, you know, like, eating is easy, right? You just put it in your mouth, you eat it, and it's just as easy to eat healthy stuff as it is to eat French fries inside your burrito, which is really tasty, by the way. In any case, point being, the struggle here is really a mental and emotional struggle, because what was happening is I would make a bad choice, and then that would be the justification to make the next bad choice, because I had made a bad choice and I was starting to feel bad about myself, a little bit bad about myself, which would make it a little bit easier to make another bad choice, because, you know, I'm like slowly becoming more of a loser, right? And then eventually, after making a whole series of loser choices, I feel like I'm a loser, so my next choice is going to be based on that emotional state of loserdom. So yeah, so that's kind of where we got, how I got. And the thing is I know better, because when I separated my shoulder a couple of years ago, I actually ended up losing a lot of fat during that, recovering from that injury, and doing that like largely through changing my nutrition. So I knew that I could, you know, keep the fat off, and that I could do all that by being good about my nutrition. But I started making bad choices. I started on a kind of downward spiral, bad choices leading to feeling bad about myself, which then led to more bad choices. And then, you know, recently I remembered something that Kelly had said to me, which is, every choice is a chance. And I don't know, you probably know where that comes from. I don't know where that comes from. I know it comes from something, but if you know, hit me up in the comments, let me know where this phrase comes from, where, like, who kind of like coined it. But every choice is a chance. So, you know, even if I've made a whole series of bad choices throughout the day, I've had a cookie at breakfast, I've you know, put fries in my burrito at lunch, and so on and so forth, I can still at some point, at any point, I can turn it around and I can make a good choice. And my previous bad choice does not mean I have to make a bad choice. So in this next choice, I have that chance to make a good choice. And for me, that's really kind of the key. I think, you know, I've been somewhat chunky ever since I hit puberty, and have like struggled with self-image and that sort of thing, and it's kind of often affected my confidence, and so it's made it easier to make bad choices. I spent a whole period of my life just overindulging in everything. I used to smoke like around 2 packs a day, and just ate terribly all the time, and just lots of sugar in my diet, just everything you can do to make yourself unhealthy, and you know, and just kind of kept beating up on myself. But then, you know, those were a series of bad choices building on bad choices, and then I would go through a period of my life where I would start making really good choices. And then what would happen is like one bad choice would then be enough of a chink in that armor to like just kind of destroy me and send me back into a spiral. So by kind of retaining this mantra of every choice is a chance, it reminds me that like I can always turn it around, and that what got me to that relatively lean and strong self before the injury was not something that happened all at once, right? It wasn't a huge, gigantic, monstrous effort that got me there, in the same way that it wasn't a huge, gigantic, monstrous effort that has got me to my soft self now. It was a series of good choices. It was a whole collection, you know, a whole bank of good choices. So I'm back on that route now, and continuing to take each choice as a chance to do something good for myself. And so, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when you get into a bad situation on a trail because you got offline at one point, and if when my brain is all caught up in those bad choices that I'd made just a moment ago on the trail, and like am panicking about it, it just means I'm that much more likely to go into full crash and panic mode. But if I you know, just kind of let that previous bad line go and am concentrated on just what's ahead of me on the trail and keeping going, things tend to work out. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful for you, and hope that I haven't been too self-indulgent in today's raw vlog. If you can relate to this, let me know in the comments. Hit me up with any of your kind of stories of either being a jerk, or being fat, or being a fat jerk, or all those kind of things. If you dug this raw vlog, hit that like button and let me know so. Hit me up in the comments with any questions you might have, or suggestions for future subjects on the raw vlog. If you're not already part of the crew, hit that subscribe button, join the crew, get fresh mountain biking episodes every Monday at 5 p.m. Hope you dug it.